This guest acquired this displayed item from her friend. The item has a similar appearance to porcelain pieces made by the Derby Company. Furthermore, the piece dates back to circa 1750 and was made in England. Interestingly, it is designed in the form of a deer, with dark spots painted on its back. Upon close inspection, it has been determined that this piece is not an authentic Derby item.
And Reginald Newland was the source of these. And unfortunately, this is one of his.
Counterfeits like this are often referred to as talkie fakes, indicating their place of origin. There are slight signs of wear on the piece, which were intentionally added to give it an appearance of greater age.
And then in the kiln, that built into a real crack, because he knew they should have. He used to supply shops with his fakes.
Given that this porcelain has been confirmed to be a fake, its value would be.
You'd be looking probably at sort of £3,000 or more for a real Derby deer. But for a talkie one, let's say £100.
Yeah.
There's something intriguing about the design of this vintage train ticket. The intricate details, fonts, and materials used reflect a time when even the most utilitarian objects were crafted with care. This particular vintage train ticket was acquired by the guest from her husband.
My husband inherited it and told me to bring it along, and I've been trying to persuade him to come today, and he says, "Have you been seen yet? Have they told you how much it's worth?" And I said, "Well, come along. Now he's turned off his phone."
It is a ticket for the Midlands Counties Railway, used for the railway's opening in 1839. The Midlands Counties Railway played a significant role in the development of British railway systems during the early days of rail transport. Railway memorabilia like this are very rare and highly sought after. Remarkably, the print on the ticket is still clearly visible and there's no wear on the piece. At auction, this piece of railway memorabilia would easily attract a significant price.
So if I were to say to you £1,000, what would you say?
What for that? Okay then.
This pair of treasures are family heirlooms, inherited by the guest. First is the necklace acquired by the guest's grandmother from China in 1923. This necklace is adorned with high-carat gold and a jadeite heart pendant.
The carving of the jade in this heart is jadeite, and it's a little mottled, but it's a new piece. It's not old. I mean, it has to be 100 years old before it's old.
Then there's the intriguing compact, which can be considered the star of the pair.
You know it's a compact.
Yes, I do.
It's a two-stage compact. There's two compartments with a mirror. The two pieces of jade are broken.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
The compact features rare green gold and black enamel craftsmanship. Broken jade pieces, which are Han Dynasty coins representing good luck, are also part of the compact's features. There's also a magnificent two-tone platinum chain, although it doesn't belong to the piece. The jadeite piece holds a purchase price of.
Your jadeite piece over here would bring anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 at auction.
Oh, okay.
While the compact, with its features, would easily fetch.
Your compact at auction could easily go anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000.
No kidding! Oh my God!
A dusty Dutch heirloom. This painting is a folk art masterpiece. The painting came from Holland to America via the guest's great-grandmother.
This was at the home of my great-grandmother's, which my great-aunt then lived. And we'd go to visit her, and she would be wanting to give things away.
Upon arrival in America, it was slightly neglected until a light cleaning revealed its vibrant details and lively scene.
Thankfully, it had a very light touch because it still has a wonderful old surface. Oftentimes when people clean pictures at home, they can do irreparable damage, so congratulations to him.
This wonderful artwork captures a bustling Dutch town block with meticulous precision. The fishing boats, townspeople, and architectural details of the painting bring the scene to life. Additionally, the unknown artist used mattress ticking, tacked onto pine boards as a canvas. According to experts, the painting can be dated to after the mid-19th century. With its age and unique construction, this folk art piece would command a fee at auction today of.
At auction, easily it's a $4,000 to $6,000 painting, and perhaps more.
This piece takes us down memory lane with tales of Austin's Wild West. The piece once belonged to Ben Thompson, a notorious Austin gunman. A pawn shop connection helped the guest acquire this slice of colourful local history.
And we can confirm the story because there's lots of literature on Ben Thompson and his possessions being bought by your great-grandfather.
This whole stand actually witnessed Thompson's transition from outlaw to city marshal. There are also newspaper clippings that recount Thompson's exciting exploits. This furniture's provenance actually multiplies its value beyond typical Victorian pieces. The guest's great-grandfather, who was the pawn shop owner, signed the hall stand, authenticating its storied past.
It's, of course, a very interesting Victorian hall stand from the 1880s. Then you began to tell me the history a little bit about Ben Thompson. He considered Austin his city. You showed me some of the newspaper articles here.
This tangible link to Austin's wild history elevates the hall stand's value too.
And I think it's $3,000 to $5,000 just for the history alone.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much.
Her father gave this to him when he passed away. The clock is a Horace Tift pattern timepiece from North Attleboro, Massachusetts. Horace Tift, a 19th century clockmaker, was renowned for his precision and craftsmanship. It has this first name for it.
They were called other names, back in the 19th century. They were called regulators. In the earliest forms, patented by Simon Willard in 1802, were called a patent timepiece.
The timepiece has a wooden case, often mahogany or walnut, and a large Roman numeral dial. Tift added innovative features like improved escapements for better accuracy and durability, a prized piece for antique lovers, showcasing 19th century craftsmanship. The appraiser valued it as a timeless relic of precision and innovation.
But still today, retail value for this clock would be $2,500.
She bought this in a estate sale and paid $500 for it. The Roger Broders Dunkirk poster epitomizes early French travel ads. Roger Broders, famed for his vibrant French travel posters. This Dunkirk poster highlights the port city's elegance and allure. The image shows a couple embodying Great Gatsby elegance with Art Deco style and refined attire, a unique partnership in promotion.
It is a French travel poster, advertising travel to Dunkirk in the north of France.
Broders' work features clean lines, bold colors, and Art Deco sophistication. His posters are striking and serve as historical records of interwar European travel. The appraiser valued the item for its vibrant elegance.
At auction, I would estimate it between $15,000 and $20,000.
An inheritance from her great-great-grandfather. This guest brought this furniture to the show to find out more about it. The furniture is actually a chest from Baltimore, made by a man named John Needles. Needles was one of the few cabinet makers who left an autobiography. The chest is made of maple, a type of wood Needles was fascinated with.
And so when you look at this piece, you can see how Needles' love of maple was something that he passed on to his clients.
Mahogany was used for the doorknobs and etching of this chest. In addition to that, Needle also had a very unique drawer construction, which is evident in this piece.
And if we look across here, he used a series of segmented blocks at the bottom. And if we look inside again, he liked a veneer on white pine.
Collectors of maple furniture have risen considerably lately, and this maple chest is no exception.
Well, typically Empire chest of drawers don't go for a lot of money, but people really like maple now.
Although chests like this typically don't go for a lot of money, this one is still worth.
And in this case, I'd say that this chest of drawers is worth between $1,200 and $1,500.
That'll surprise a few people in the family.
A French-made piece. This furniture was made from mahogany. The guest was enthralled by the piece and made sure he acquired it for himself.
To buy this, but I was just so blown away by it that I just had to have it.
What you have is a French Cartonier bureau plot.
This furniture is actually a French Cartonier bureau plot and has bronze gilded mounts.
And is meant to hold papers. And the front of this Cartonier is covered with tooled leather.
It was crafted around 1920 and is a copy of an early 19th century design. The reason for this copy is the classical references found on the furniture.
It is copying an early 19th century design with all of these classical influences.
Another unique fact about this piece is that it was originally a 20th century Fox studio piece. The provenance of the furniture is further supported by pictures from the two movies in which this piece was featured.
It was in this 1954 movie, Desiree, with Gene Simmons and Marlon Brando.
Yeah, great movie.
And we see the Brando picture. He's standing next to the desk.
All these unique features and provenance increase this piece's value, and at auction, it would be worth.
Well, were this to be put at an auction, I think you probably at this stage would be looking at an estimate, say, of $8,000 to $12,000 on the piece.
A breathtakingly beautiful painting takes center stage today. For years, the guest grew up with this breathtaking piece in his parents' living room, its story woven into family history, after the artist left it with friends who later entrusted it to his parents. This exquisite work is a masterpiece by the renowned artist Antonio Jacobsen. Antonio Jacobsen was a celebrated Danish-American artist renowned for his breathtaking maritime paintings.
In this painting, he's worked in gouache, which is an opaque, water-based paint, rather than the oil, which he uses most of the time.
Born in 1850, Jacobsen's artistic journey began as a young boy, sketching ships in the harbour of his hometown, Copenhagen. His innate talent and passion for the ocean led him to apprentice with a local ship painter, where he honed his skills and developed a unique style that would later earn him international acclaim. Beautifully executed, this artwork captures the essence of a racing yacht, with intricate details that impress.
It's actually a racing yacht, which is one of his more popular subjects. We often see that he works in a horizontal rather than a vertical format.
Remarkably, this painting retains its original frame, remaining in exceptional condition and intact after all these years, which significantly enhances its auction value too.
So I think at auction this might bring something like $15,000 to $25,000 or even more.
Wow, that's great.
What we have here is a Maori feather box known as a wakahuia. It is carved from wood and was traditionally used by the Maori people of New Zealand to store and protect precious items, such as feathers from the huia bird and other valued personal treasures. This particular piece has been passed down through the guest's family for generations.
Because it contained the black and white feathers of a huia bird, which they used to put in their hair, and they were considered as treasure.
The wooden box is adorned with intricate carvings of traditional Maori patterns.
Well, I think he was a great networker.
I see.
And he had a lot of connections in the art world, and a lot of things came his way, shall we say.
Additionally, this wakahuia has an elongated rectangular form. Also, its tightly fitted lid ensures the protection of its contents. There is some slight wear noticeable on the piece, which could slightly affect its value. At auction, this example of Maori craftsmanship would easily be worth.
And I think it's got a reasonable value. With good provenance, these can make £15,000 to £20,000.
That's fantastic.
Presented before us is a charming black teddy bear that sparks curiosity. The guest procured this intriguing teddy bear from a woman who stated she'd bought it from an antique store in England.
We used to do doll and bear shows quite a bit, and a lady approached me one day and said that she had bought this bear in England.
Further examination and investigation revealed that this teddy bear is in fact a masterpiece crafted by the renowned Steiff Company. Steiff is a German-based plush toy company that is famous for creating high-quality, homemade teddy bears and other soft toys. The company was founded in 1880 by Margaret Steiff, and it has since become a legendary brand in the world of teddy bear collecting. Steiff teddy bears are known for their exceptional craftsmanship, attention to detail, and use of high-quality materials.
Steiff bears, when you look at them, they have a look. They're well-formed, they have a hump in the back, as you see on this guy. Somebody's added the clothes, which are not original.
Each Steiff bear is made from mohair or other natural fibers and is stuffed with cotton or wool. The bears are then hand-painted and finished with intricate details such as embroidered noses and mouths, given its exceptional rarity as a black Steiff teddy bear combined with its outstanding condition. This extraordinary piece would command an auction value of.
I wouldn't sell them for $15,000 either. He's more in the range, I would say, in the $20,000, $25,000 to $30,000 range.
Featured today is an exceptionally lovely pairing of earrings and a necklace, a true masterpiece. Originally given to the guest's mother by her father as a token of love, it has since been inherited by her and holds great sentimental value.
My mother was given it by my father, I presume in the 1950s, and I really know nothing at all about it except that my mother gave it to me and I love it.
While its style is reminiscent of 17th century Spanish craftsmanship, it is actually a product of the 18th century. The necklace shows delicate filigree goldwork, likely to be of a high carat purity.
Your necklace is woven filigree gold, and it's probably a very high carat, easily 18 carat.
Elaborated rose diamond accents adorn the piece, reflecting the style's popularity during that age.
And they're in with rose diamonds, which was very popular at the time.
Closer scrutiny revealed a few imperfections on the piece's condition. There is also a minor repair using a soft solder present on the reverse, but it's not visible from the front side.
Now, there are a couple problems with it. Unfortunately, you've got soft solder repair on the back. Fortunately, it doesn't show from the front.
In its current state, this charming piece of jewelry would likely realize a retail value of.
Retail today is worth something in the neighborhood of 12 to 15,000.
You're joking, my God.
No.
Oh my God.
No. No.
Toys from the past often carry a strong sense of nostalgia, as shown by this Keystone pressed steel truck. This truck belonged to the guest's grandfather, who sat right by his side and preserved it in excellent condition. For a truck acquired in 1922, its present condition truly is a salute to the level of care it received. Keystone was a leading manufacturer of toy trucks in the early 20th century, known for their durability.
As you can see by the original decal, this is the classic Packard front end. Most Keystone trucks were that way.
Their trucks were known for the details on them.
It's a police patrol wagon, a paddy wagon.
This particular model, a police patrol wagon, is especially rare and desirable among collectors. The original decals, still intact, add to the truck's value and authenticity.
Because it has all these original decals here that say police patrol, has the original decal in the floor. They were fun to play with because they had operating steering wheels.
Today, due to its exceptional condition and rarity, this toy could command between.
I would say on today's market, at auction, could bring anywhere between $2,000 and $2,500.
That's pretty good appreciation.
Treasures sometimes emerge from the most unexpected places. That's exactly the case with this Art Deco style piece, purchased at an auction for just $1. Drawn by its style, the guest decided to purchase it, despite knowing little about its origins. The piece has the Roycroft mark, which shows that it's part of the arts and crafts movement from around 1910. Additionally, the hand-hammered copper gives it a distinct character.
So it is arts and crafts movement, made in New York State, probably about 1910. It's hand-hammered copper.
Small silver-colored squares, likely once brighter, also add to its aesthetic appeal. This piece embodies the principles of the arts and crafts movement. Highlighting the significance of this find, an auction sale estimate would be between.
They have come up anywhere between $2,500 and about $6,000.
Oh no.
Family heirlooms often carry rich histories, and this English tea set vividly represents that legacy. This tea set has been passed down through 3 generations, starting with the guest's great-great-grandfather. The guest's great-great-grandfather was the first millionaire in Utah and owned the Eagle Emporium.
He was a butcher, and he owned the Eagle Emporium, which is now ZCMI, the first department store in the United States.
As such, the tea set can be dated back to 1844 and is Victorian.
This actually is an English tea set. The date marks on it date it from 1844, early Victorian era.
The intricate Victorian engravings and gold-washed interior highlight its exquisite craftsmanship. This set also bears the monogram of the guest's great-great-grandfather. Edward Barnard, a renowned London silversmith, crafted this beautiful piece during that era. Today, reflecting both on its historical significance and craftsmanship, this tea set holds a value of around.
I think the 4 pieces together would bring about $5,000.
Oh, thank you very much.
This captivating watch, highlighted on today's show, is a family heirloom inherited by the guest.
I inherited this watch, and I have a son named James, and ultimately I think I'd like to have it go to him.
It's a rare and highly prized Patek Philippe timepiece.
There was a
meteoric rise in the price of these watches, and it started, you know, in the 80s.
In the 80s.
And like anything, they went up, they came back down, but it's happening again.
One of its key features is that it's a highly accurate chronometer with a split-second function.
The first thing we could show is that it's a chronometer. What's interesting is it's a split-second chronometer.
Right.
A further notable aspect of this remarkable timepiece is its intricate repeater mechanism.
We see the second hand is moving.
Right.
Now, let's say you're timing your horse, and you're getting to the halfway point. You push this other button.
One particularly charming aspect is the custom engraving, making it truly special. Turning the watch over reveals the beautifully crafted engraving and enameling of the initials. It's a beautifully preserved timepiece of exceptional craftsmanship. Given its exceptional features, including the Patek Philippe signature, split-second chronograph, dual registers, and minute repeater, its auction value would be.
In the marketplace today, at least at auction, I see this watch $40,000 to $60,000.
Wow.
On display today is a rare Tiffany paperweight with a distinguished provenance, having once belonged to J.P. Morgan and his family. J.P. Morgan was an American financier, banker, and philanthropist. He was one of the most influential figures in the history of American finance and industry. The back of the paperweight is inscribed with the year 1895, a testament to its remarkable history. Crafted by the renowned Tiffany & Company, this paperweight is a stunning example of silverwork. Tiffany & Co. is a legendary American luxury jeweler and specialty retailer, founded in 1837 by Charles Louis Tiffany. At its center, the paperweight showcases a stunning specimen of gold quartz with its outstanding craftsmanship and distinguished provenance. It's likely to command an auction price of.
For a paperweight like this, is somewhere between $8,000 and $12,000 today. Wow.
This guest's grandmother was an avid glass collector from Boston who frequented antique stores. She amassed a collection of 8 unique glasses, which were split between the guest and his aunt.
My grandma was a big collector of glass. She used to live up in Boston, used to shop around at the Cape, go to antique stores and collect glass. That was like her thing.
The glasses were designed by Otto Prutscher, an important Austrian designer. Prutscher was associated with the Wiener Werkstätte and designed various decorative arts.
It didn't say a price, it just said Otto Prutscher wine glass or goblet, and so I was like, well, these might be valuable, I'll bring these in.
These glasses, designed around 1907, were produced by Bekalowitz for Wiener Werkstätte.
It was founded by Joseph Hoffman and Kolo Moser, and he was a student of Joseph Hoffman, and then he went on to teach.
Okay.
These glasses feature a complex 2-color design, and this type of design required intricate cutting techniques. Also, the glasses aren't signed, even though it's known that they were designed by Prutscher and produced by Bekalowitz. Despite being unsigned, each of these rare glasses, at an auction, would fetch between.
And they have been selling for anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 each.
Each?
Yes.
Wow.
Each.
Bringing a piece of mid-19th century political folk art, this guest presents an intriguing artifact. Adorning the item is God and our native land, which links it to the Know Nothing movement.
It's got a slogan on it, obviously, God and our native land. It's probably related to the Know Nothings anti-immigrant group in the mid-19th century.
The Know Nothing movement was xenophobic in nature and aimed to restrict immigration during their time. Additionally, the name of the group came about because of the members always claiming to know nothing when questioned. Native-born candidates and extended citizenship waiting periods topped their political agenda.
The Know-Nothings were a political group in the middle of the 19th century. It was xenophobia. They wanted to keep immigrants out of this country.
Storing important documents or small items, this box served a practical purpose. Valuable insights into a controversial period of American history can be seen from the box's inscription and provenance. Despite its controversial origins, the artifact boasts impressive preservation and paintwork. The current market value for this piece of controversial American artifact would be.
I would say that on the marketplace today, this box would probably bring about $2,500.
Very nice.
Today's guest inherited this artifact from his grandfather. The guest's grandfather was gifted this item by appreciative locals for his work on a Dominican Republic railroad project. This remarkable item originates from Taino culture Interestingly enough, the first encounter with the Taino people happened in 1492 via Christopher Columbus. The base material for this artifact is basalt.
It's made out of basalt. It's a volcanic stone, very hard stone indeed.
Skillful Taino artisans demonstrated their mastery by working with such a challenging material. The use of this item was largely for ceremonial or religious purposes. A retail price estimate for this unique artifact would be between
A retail price would be between $4,000 and $6,000.
It's wonderful.
On exhibit is a rare and remarkable guitar, a treasure for music enthusiasts. This treasured instrument was passed down to the guest from her grandfather, a music-loving farmer.
This guitar belonged to my grandfather, and from what I know, he bought it in either 1954 or 1955.
Some gentle refinishing would quickly restore it to its original glory.
Being a one-owner guitar, it's dirty, it needs to be cleaned, but it isn't like it's passed around. It was used, he loved it, he put it back in the case. I love that kind of patina on a guitar.
This is a 1955 Les Paul Special, a model that was produced in 2 distinct variations. This particular guitar is the single cutaway version, whereas the alternative model features a double cutaway design.
From best I can tell, it's a 1955 Les Paul Special. They made the Les Paul Special in 2 configurations.
The finish on this guitar is the iconic TV yellow, a shade created to optimize its visual appeal on TV. Astonishingly, every component of the guitar is still original, speaking to its incredibly well-maintained history.
Specifically, to look good on camera, good on TV. Everything on the guitar is original. Like I say, it's had some wear. The tailpiece is original. It's been broken, but it hasn't fallen apart.
Included with the guitar is a luxurious deluxe case for safekeeping. The total retail value of this exceptional guitar and its accompanying case would be,
which is not as strong as it was maybe in 2008. It's still between $10,000 and $12,000 in a retail environment.
This guest brought a treasure from her family's past, a unique doll with interchangeable heads.
I bought this from a dealer years ago before the internet. It had no mark on it. So nobody knew exactly what it was. I just thought it was beautiful.
Mr. Jones, the guest's great-grandfather, originally owned this intriguing piece. The dolls were crafted by Kestner, a self-proclaimed king of dolls in Germany. The primary target for these German-made dolls were American department stores.
You know, the 1904 Louisiana Purchase Exhibition was a major event in the history of American decorative arts.
Also, contrary to the guest's belief, this is not a salesman's sample, but a deluxe children's toy.
But Americans wanted to show the Europeans that they could do it too. I don't know if anything this big had been made in American ceramics.
Dubbed the Wonder Child, this 1910 creation offered 4 dolls in one, hence the interchangeable heads.
They sent them to the Louisiana Purchase Exhibition to make a big splash. They were really competing with the French and the Germans and the British to a certain extent.
The main doll is the Kestner 171, which boasts sleeping eyes and a mohair wig. It's actually quite rare to see the complete set, as many were separated or modified over time. Collectors currently prize the box doll with painted eyes and closed mouths, and as such, they're valued at.
Retail price would be $25,000.
Wow.
Today.
I'm very, very happy with that. And I hope everyone will love it that sees it, and everything's coming up roses.
This garage sale piece turned out to be a rare artistic gem from San Antonio, Texas. Purchased for merely $1 each, these tiles hold a hidden history. Although they were thought to have been produced by Mexican artisans, they were actually produced by San Jose pottery.
Mexican tiles.
It's not a bad guess at all, but they're not.
Oh.
They were made by the San Jose potteries.
San Jose pottery was founded in 1931 by Ethel Wilson Harris, a pioneering female entrepreneur. Early production from 1931 to 1941 by the pottery were labeled Mexican arts and crafts. The identifying marks for these tiles, when present, included glazed symbols like the Magui plant.
The lady who was in charge of putting this group together, her name was Ethel Wilson Harris. And Ethel Harris was not an artist of her own right.
Additionally, there's the La Tijuana and El Tijuano pair among the collection. Retail prices for these tiles range significantly, with prices being between
Roughly in the $600 to $800 range per tile.
This cherished family heirloom is a masterpiece by renowned artist Irving Ramsey Wiles. The painting was originally gifted to the guest's mother-in-law in the mid-1960s. Wiles, contrary to the guest's research, was primarily known for his portrait work.
She did tell me it was supposed to be someone famous, and I did do a little research on him, and he does have pieces of art in big museums.
The Art Students League and William Merritt Chase shaped Wiles's artistic style. This particular oil on canvas dates to around 1905 and showcases Wiles' painting style. The bravura brushstrokes in the water ripples exemplify Wiles' technique. Additionally, the painting's original frame complements it and adds to its overall appeal. A previous appraisal on this painting was carried out in 1979, and it severely underestimates its value.
My mother-in-law and wanted to come look at it to see if they wanted to auction it. And when they came to look at it, they said that they thought it might go anywhere from $1,400 to $4,000, but she never did anything with it.
Current market demand for Wiles' work has significantly increased, and in the present market, this painting would be worth.
I think you probably want to add a zero to the 1,400. I would say closer to 15,000 to 25,000 at auction now.
Gifts are special, but this particular one from the guest's brother stands out. The guests shared that the etchings were a birthday gift from their brother, who had an impressive art collection. Admiring the pieces since the 1970s, the guest was eventually surprised when their brother gifted them the artwork. The brother, a lifelong postal worker, had purchased the etchings in New York, often making sacrifices, such as eating tuna fish for weeks and working overtime to afford the art he loved. The guest identified one of the etchings as a work by John Sloan, a prominent member of the Ashcan School, known for depicting the gritty scenes of New York. The other was by Edward Hopper, a celebrated artist who produced fewer prints, making his works rarer. The appraiser confirmed that both etchings were by artists active in New York during the early 1900s. John Sloan's piece, titled Easter Eve, depicted Washington Square Park and the Arch, while Hopper's etching, titled The Railroad, was created in 1922 and from a much smaller edition.
But it's from a much smaller edition, probably somewhere between 25 and 50 prints maximum.
Okay.
And it's called The Railroad, and it was made in 1922.
While the guest had guessed the etchings might be valued at $40,000 each, the appraiser revealed
Sloan would have a replacement value of around $5,000.
Oh my, okay.
However, the Edward Hopper etching, due to its rarity and beauty, was valued at an impressive $100,000.
Has a replacement value of about $100,000.
Goodness.
So it's
wow.
a beautiful print, and it's a great set by two masters of New York printmaking from the early part of the 1900s.
This sword belonged to the guest's great-great-grandfather, George Hobart Wilbur, who served with the 9th Indiana Volunteers. This sword was unique due to an unusual inscription placed on the blade, rather than the more typical locations on the brass guard or scabbard.
Generally, when you see an inscription on a sword, it's on the brass of the guard or it's on the top of the scabbard.
This inscription's placement was a direct result of a bullet strike during the Battle of Lookout Mountain on December 1863. Wilbur had written home from Raccoon Mountain, Georgia, detailing how the bullet hit the sword while it was in its scabbard, rendering the sword immovable. The impact of the bullet was so powerful that it not only drove the scabbard into the sword, but also caused significant indentations on the iron scabbard. Wilbur had mistakenly inserted the sword into the scabbard backwards during the chaotic events of the battle. The sword, a Model 1850 foot officer's sword with a steel blade and iron scabbard, was the correct type for a lieutenant, which aligns with Wilbur's rank at the time. The entire collection, including the sword with its bullet strike and associated documentation, was valued at around.
As a group, this is something that would need to be insured for about $5,000.
Wow.
Noting that without the bullet damage and historical context, the sword alone would be worth about.
This sword would be worth about $750 to $1,000.
A breathtaking assortment of images showcasing the incomparable Marilyn Monroe is on show today. A casual bet between friends led to the guest's father to take these remarkable photographs, now cherished family heirlooms.
My father photographed these. He was a student in California and had a bet with a friend that he could get a picture of Marilyn Monroe.
A Hollywood legend, Marilyn Monroe was an American actress, model, and singer who became one of the most iconic and enduring sex symbols of the 20th century.
Well, setting the scene a little bit, in 1953, Marilyn Monroe made herself into a box office star.
Known for her blonde hair, voluptuous figure, and charming on-screen presence, Monroe starred in numerous films. Monroe's life was marked by both glamour and turmoil, with struggles with mental health, relationships, and the pressures of fame. Despite her untimely death at 36, Marilyn Monroe's legacy continues to captivate audiences and inspire new generations of artists and fans. The guest's father captured a total of 10 photographs, each one previously unseen by the public. This remarkable collection is in superb condition, and given its unpublished nature, the estimated auction value, excluding copyright, is anticipated to be
That if you sell these without the copyright, the 10 photos themselves, very conservatively, I would put them at $6,000 to $8,000 for the grouping.
The guest's mother used to live in a carriage house owned by Monty Woolley, a prominent Broadway actor, and after his death, the guest's grandparents purchased the house. Monty Woolley, also known as the Beard, was a close friend of Cole Porter, whom he met at Yale. The two had a lifelong intimate relationship, with Porter often writing personal and affectionate letters to Woolley. These letters were all handwritten and signed by Cole Porter, and some even included drawings and musical notes. One particular letter from 1919 mentioned a shared memory at the opera, indicating a deep connection between Porter and Woolley. The appraiser explained that Cole Porter's letters can typically be valued between
Cole Porter letters can run anywhere from $300 to $500 to $1,000 to $1,500, but your letters are exceptional.
However, due to the exceptional nature of this collection and its intimate connection to both Porter and Woolley, the appraiser valued the letters at between
Would be between $50,000 and $70,000 at auction.
Today, a rare and fascinating pair of anatomy mannequins is showcased. Their distinctive feature is that they are rendered on tin sheets. Lifting the panels exposes a meticulously crafted set of internal organs, each one removable. Anatomy mannequins are three-dimensional representations of the human body or specific body parts, designed to educate and train individuals in the fields of medicine, healthcare, and related sciences. These models can be made of various materials, such as plastics, fiberglass, or silicone, and are often detailed to show the internal structures and organs of the body. They can range from simple, basic models to highly complex and realistic ones, depending on their intended use. Only collectors with a specific interest in medical artifacts, or those who appreciated the peculiar, would find these pieces intriguing. A reasonable auction value for these medical rarities would be
I don't think you'd have any problem fetching $800 to $1,200 for it in the right auction.
An intricately carved and painted bottle, won in a 1930s Chicago saloon card game, belonged to the late father-in-law of the guest, an inherent craftsman with an extensive body of work. The artist behind this remarkable piece is Carl Warner. Warner traveled widely, leaving his mark in cities like Chicago, St. Louis, Buffalo, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Dated around 1910, this bottle is in extraordinary condition, with its bright and cheerful paint preserved by being sealed. Born in Germany, Warner began his art in the 1890s, creating pieces mainly for bars, shoe shops, and restaurants. Featuring W. Hunt, likely the name of the saloon owner, the top of the bottle helps track its age and Warner's travels.
That was assuredly the name of the saloon owner that Warner made this bottle for. That helps us date it. It also helps date and track Warner's travels.
A notable painted scene on the bottle references Warner's German roots with the inscription, "Where is the seventh one?"
So we have here 6 people. Well, down here it says, where is the 7th one?
And that's what we're going to find out. And this is Warner's signature. This is why we know this is a bottle by Warner.
This theme, a signature of Warner's work, where he cleverly hides the 7th figure. contributes to its current market value of.
In today's market, the retail value is $3,000 to $4,000.
Wow. That's pretty astonishing.
A beautifully crafted lamp features a leaded shade and a base resembling a natural tree trunk. Its elegant design evokes the style of Tiffany's creations. This lamp carries a rich history as a cherished family heirloom, weaving together stories of past generations. Made by Cincinnati wrought ironworks in 1910, this lamp was once owned by great-uncle Leo from Dallas. Leo, who traveled extensively through the Midwest, gifted the lamp to his niece, Bonnie, during one of his visits to Dallas. Despite hopes it was Tiffany, it was confirmed as a Cincinnati artistic ironworks creation.
In the book, and I learned that it was from the Cincinnati wrought ironworks, and that it was made in 1910, and that it originally sold for $34.
This company was known for its metal novelties and art glass items. Originally sold for $34, the lamp reflects the craftsmanship of its era and is valued today at approximately.
Probably a good retail price would be around $7,500. It's not the big money lamps, but it's still a very nice lamp to see on Antiques Roadshow.
Yes, yeah,
okay?
Thanks. Yeah, that's good.
Handed down through the generations, a charming vintage purse from 1905 to 1910 has become a cherished lore. This elegant purse boasts a design crafted from 14-karat gold mesh. Nestled elegantly with the original powder still inside, the purse features a small powder puff with a mirror. Enhancing its charm, a delicate pink silk bow adorns the top of the puff. For years, it remained tucked away in a drawer, awaiting its time to shine. Gold prices have surged dramatically, climbing from $900 an ounce in 2009 to approximately $1,600 an ounce by 2011. The purse's value has significantly risen due to the recent increase in gold prices.
Well, it is 14-karat gold. Wow. And a little bit about gold right now. In 2009, gold was at about $900 an ounce.
With its historical significance and 14-karat gold composition, the auction value is estimated to range between.
So auction value, I would say between $3,000 and $5,000.
Okay. Wow.
A cherished 18th century tea table had been in the possession of the guest for around 4 years, likely a Queen Anne-style maple piece crafted in rural New England. The table featured turned legs and buttoned feet. Originally, the table had a reddish wash to mimic mahogany, but this finish had been removed by previous refinishers. 2 of the feet had also been replaced over time. The guest received the table as a bequest from a beloved neighbor she had cared for in their final years.
My neighbor, whom I loved very much, gave it to me in her will.
Tea was a popular social beverage in 18th century America, and formal homes would have had specialized tea tables. This particular table, despite its more rustic origin, would have been used for such gatherings. A current estimate of the refinished table with the replaced feet is around.
Considering all of that, because that affects the value, this is worth about $2,500.
On display today is a truly remarkable gathering of rare and historic tobacco cards. After his mother's passing, the guest uncovered this treasure trove of collectibles in her attic.
I had apparently brought them from Baton Rouge in about 1940, after my grandmother broke up her house, after my uncle had died, and so on.
This stunning collection of tobacco cards dates back to the early 1910s, specifically between 1910 and 1913. Tobacco cards are small collectible cards featuring colorful illustrations, photographs, or text, originally included in cigarette packs from the late 19th to early 20th centuries.
There are about 75 or 80 different cards, though, in the bunch.
These aren't the typical tobacco cards you see. There were tobacco cards issued all over the country, particularly the East Coast.
Shown here are a pair of cards from the renowned T213 series of tobacco cards, carrying an auction estimate of.
I would estimate your 2 T213 cards at auction at around $300 to $500 for the pair.
Conversely, the T215 pair on display is far more elusive, with the added rarity of both cards bearing the red cross marking on their backs, expected to fetch.
For these two right here, I would estimate them at $2,500 to $3,500 for the pair. Wow.
Additionally, the collection includes a notable Ward Miller piece, projected to realize an auction value of.
The Ward Miller I'd estimate that card at $1,500 to $2,000.
Finally, the crown jewel of the collection is the ultra-rare Lewis Loudermilk card that is expected to fetch a value of.
We'd estimate it somewhere $15,000 to $20,000 for this card.
These prints were received from a cousin who lived to be 102 years old and was a descendant of Martha Washington. They look like oil paintings, but are printed on canvas and were put in these original frames. Moreover, these prints were done by a man named E.C. Middleton, who was a famous lithographer in Cincinnati. He developed a process of creating these portraits of popular people such that they look like oil paintings. They are dated to 1864 and would not have had glass on them, so it is advised that the glass be removed. However, they were intended to look like oil paintings, so people could afford something nice to hang in their homes. Although they were popular, not many survived, but these are in good condition, with clear images, and in a retail shop, they would sell as a pair for.
And in a retail shop, these would probably sell for about $650 to $700.
The guest bought this cello for Christmas some years ago for $7,000 and believes it is more than 100 years old. There is a label inside this musical instrument, and though it is the original label, it is hard to decipher what it says. It is dated to 1770 with origins from northern Austria, as opposed to German, which the guest initially thought. Further, it is modelled after the work of Steiner, who was one of the famous Tyrolean makers at the time. Although it is original and rare, the cello is not in great condition, as there are multiple cracks on the body and the ribs, which would impact the value. However, in a pristine condition, this cello would sell for $60,000 in retail shops, but in its present condition, at a retail marketplace, it would sell for.
I think if you went back into the retail marketplace, it would be $15,000 cello. Wow.
Exhibited on the show today is a set of rather unusual items, English kitchen units. In a stroke of luck, the guest found these items in a home he purchased 10 years ago.
We'll sell that, we say.
Right.
It could be valuable. It's retro, it's 60s, it's in vogue. That was 10, 12 years ago.
These items were made in the 1950s by the Constant Speed Air Screws Company.
It was made by a company called Constant Speed Air Screws Industries.
They are referred to as English Rose kitchen units and were the first modular kitchen units in Europe. These kitchen units are made from aluminium and are very stylishly constructed. Additionally, the units feature drawers and cabinets that are well bolted together. Due to age, there is some slight wear observable on these kitchen units. Given the retro style of these kitchen units, they are highly sought after and are estimated to be worth.
Rather than a retail environment, you would pay about £1,000 to £1,500 for what's here.
A charming dresser, adorned with a scalloped motif on the front, dates back to 1858. It was gifted to the great-great-grandmother by her husband, Jonathan Browning. Browning, a pioneer gunsmith who travelled with the Mormon pioneers, played a pivotal role in American history. His legacy continued through his sons, which founded the Browning Arms Company. Crafted by the Phoenix Furniture Company of Grand Rapids, Michigan, the dresser features doweled construction. This type of construction is a hallmark of the firm's craftsmanship. It differs from the traditional dovetail joints found in many other pieces. Despite its historical significance and connection to a notable family, the dresser's value is estimated at around.
We're probably looking at around $1,000.
Okay.
A stunning tiara ring was acquired at a small auction in McGill, Nevada, crafted in 18-karat gold and adorned with green enamel and several carats of diamonds. This exquisite piece is a true treasure.
Somebody told me it came from a man that had come out and made it rich in the mining company and gave it to his wife, and it was dated 1846. But
acquiring this exquisite piece at a small auction reveals hidden treasures in unexpected places. This exquisite ring was originally said to be from 1846. It was made by Marcus & Company, a renowned firm from New York operating in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This unique piece, embodying the pre-Art Nouveau style, was purchased for $1,250. Its backstory involves a mining magnate gifting it to his wife, adding romantic history to its allure. In today's market, this exquisite ring is valued at approximately
And in today's market, you're talking about in the neighborhood of $6,000.